Hi, I'm Andrew Armstrong and welcome to the back office. Who among you doesn't like yoghurt? I mean, everybody likes yoghurt, right? And, you know, look at it. It's absolutely delicious. Full of, you know, healthy stuff, proteins. You can put what you like in it, nuts, fruit. I've always liked yogurt. However, recently I started taking up running and I found I really like it even more because it's a very easy way for me to ingest additional protein, and also easy, you know, it's very easy to digest, and those fruits and nuts and seeds that you can add to it obviously are really adding to your nutrition. Now, in the sort of quantities I like to eat it, which is probably a litre a week, maybe two, it can get quite expensive. So I embarked a while ago to start figuring out how I can make my own yogurt, and I came across one of these. And this is a Easiyo. You've probably seen these on infomercials. And it's essentially a big vacuum flask. So you take the bottle, the empty container, here we go, an empty Easiyo container, and you add a packet of their powder and a bunch of water, shake it up, fill this with hot water, immerse this inside, and it will make yogurt. And I've tried many of their yogurts and, you know, varying degrees of success. It does work, but it's quite expensive. A normal 600 millilitres of yoghurt will cost you about £1.50. I'm not sure that Easiyo actually worked out any cheaper. If anything, it probably worked out dearer. So what I did, using the power of science, Google really, bit of research, I figured out what you need to do to make your own yoghurt using the Easiyo system. So you can just buy all the equipment, but don't bother buying the packs. There's a far cheaper way of doing it. So to do this, what you'll need is your Easiyo maker. If you don't have an Easiyo maker, don't fret. You just need something that's capable of maintaining a temperature of around 40 degrees for your yogurt, your inoculated yogurt mixture. So that could be wrapped in towels in your airing cupboard, things like that. It might take a bit longer. You might have to be a bit more careful with it, but you can still do it. So, you know, don't fret. You can just find other vessels and you can try this. What else you'll need are some basic ingredients, and these are UHT milk. I use UHT milk because you have to be quite sanitary in everything, which means if you're going to do it the traditional way, you have to boil up the milk to make sure there's no nasties in the milk that will grow along with your yogurt and taint it, which can either stop your yogurt from forming, or it can give that sort of, you know, bitter, sort of gone off acidy yogurty taste. So I always use UHT, and I buy it in skimmed milk or whole milk, whatever's cheaper, but both work really well. If you want your yogurt to have a thicker consistency, and I'll show you at the end what it's like with and without, I always advise skimmed milk powder. So get a bunch of that too. That comes in a tin. It's about, again, I think £1 or so, and that's going to last you a while. And the final thing you need is a starter culture, and that's your starter yogurt that you're going to grow the remaining yogurt from. So what I normally do is just buy a shop-bought small pot of natural live yogurt. You know, the most expensive one you can buy, the tastiest one you like. You know, if you like that rich, creamy, you know, organic one, just get that. Pay the 50p, get that small pot. It's a really good investment. And I'll tell you why. Because not only will that small pot yield you litres of yogurt anyway that you can make yourself, you can use your older yogurt as a starter culture for your new batch. So you can extend that over and over again. So really, for that 50p investment, you're going to end up with probably, God knows, you know, maybe 30, 40 litres of yogurt if you're careful. So buy the best and nicest that you can find. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to flip around the camera and I'll just show you me putting this all together. So the first step is to boil your kettle, and that's because you're going to take your vessel here and pour a little bit of boiling water in there. Pop the lid on loosely, okay, and give that a swirl around. Okay, try not to scald yourself. And the aim of this is to actually sterilize the container, because no matter how clean you think it is, it might not be clean enough for making the yogurt. So that's done, we'll just throw that out. And I like to leave the lid on it gingerly while I prepare the other ingredients, just to make sure nothing can jump in the top. So what you need to do, just take your carton of milk, and pour out about half of it. There we go. And into your carton, add 2 generous teaspoons. Whoa! Add it more carefully than I have, of your starter culture or yogurt. And we'll just give that a nice mix. And then take your powdered milk. Again, I'm going to add one of these scoops, and this scoop is 125 milliliters. Add it, nice full scoop. Now remember, the more of this you add, the thicker it will get. So experiment. Try with, I'm going to add a bit more. Try a full scoop. See how that works for you. If you like it really thick, like the Greek yogurt, just try doubling the amount. So I'm just going to mix that in. Okay, so that's most of the powder now is submerged in the milk, but what I like to do now, just take that lid, treat it like a fancy cocktail, give that a nice shake. Right, so that's pretty much mixed now, and then all you have to do is add the remaining milk. Top that up, right up to the top. Strangely enough, you'll find a litre of milk in the bottle won't fill the container that's marked 1 litre. So I'm not sure where the extra volume comes from. Must be from the yogurt we added and the milk powder, but you can get it quite full. I think that will do. Pop the lid on again. This is for the last time, so you can really squeeze it down. Okay, I've made a bit of a mess here. I'm just going to wipe that. Maybe fill it slightly less full than I did. Okay. And then just take that, and what I like to do is just roll it a little bit, just to make sure that that last bit of milk we added, and the milk powder and the yogurt all mixed nicely. And there you go, you're ready to go with this. So depending on your method of incubation, from this point on it will vary, but for me I'm using the Easiyo container, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to finish boiling up this kettle again. This system works by filling this vessel up to the top of this red spacer with water, boiling water, and then you pop that on and pop the lid. So it's just a big thermos, and the water bath inside is going to keep your yogurt at that optimum temperature. So I'm just going to fill that in right up to that lid now. So I've reached the top of the inner lid. It's a bit dangerous to show you that, but you can see it's full of water there. Pop that in. Put the top on and leave it here for about 10 hours. I'm not going to stand here for 10 hours, so I think it's time for a jump cut. Okay, so it's been 10 hours now, so let's have a look to see what the end result is from our yogurt incubation. So we've got our container here. I'm just going to open this up. And the vessel will be a little bit wet because obviously it's sitting in water. Water's still a bit warm. I'm going to give that a wipe. So something you'll notice right away, and it's quite clear that the contents of the yogurt now feel a lot firmer. They're not really a liquid anymore. So I'm just going to take that lid off. There we go. And at this point now, what I'll usually do is I'll take a small Tupperware, like one of these, or in fact, if you've got them, these disposable ones with the lid, and I'll actually take a few scoops from the top and keep that in the fridge for my next batch to use as a starter culture. And I've read somewhere you can reuse it about 7 or 8 times before the acidity starts to get a bit too high, and then you'll start getting a sort of sour taste. I really haven't noticed that because I'll tend to, after several weeks, probably go out and buy a new yogurt anyway to add to starter culture. So let's, please leave comments below and tell me how long you've managed to reuse it. Your mileage has probably varied. So look, here we go. I'll hold this up to the camera. So this is a nice set yogurt. Look at that. You can see the consistency is very much like those fancy French set yogurts, and the taste. It tastes more like cream than yogurt. It's absolutely wonderful, and it's so easy to try. I really advise you, you really need to taste this. And I've got a second thing to show you, because I did make another batch earlier, and in this batch I didn't use the milk powder. So I haven't actually even tried this. I'm going to rinse the spoon because I don't want to, put my contaminants back into the yogurt. It's not fair for other people. So I'll take the lid off now. Because this doesn't have the milk powder, technically it should be a bit runnier, a little bit more like the kind of yogurt that you get in some of the kids things, the flavoured yogurts that are almost a bit liquidy. So here we go. I'm tipping it to show you, but I can actually see already that it's trying to work its way to the edge. So I'll take a scoop of that. So it's set, but not as set. You can see it's a bit softer. Flavour wise, it's again delicious. Tastes just like cream. Just a bit more liquid. It doesn't have that same firmness. And I suspect the more milk powder you add, you can probably make that super firm. Like those really super firm Greek yogurts. So all in all, get yourself something to incubate your yogurt. I'm using, again, these Easiyo systems, Easiyo containers. It's a lot cheaper to make your own than buy their packets, but their packet stuff's pretty good too if you just want an easy way of trying it. And let me know how you get on. Please feel free to comment below or click subscribe. And as ever, thanks for watching.